and welcome to another episode on Hot Gist with Papi. Today we bring you another hot gist on office romance. But guys, have you sat back to think about how this whole office romance thing starts? How that light gets lit? How the two people involved start hitting on each other? Has it ended well? Do you know anybody who was involved in office romance and it ended well with the person? You can find love anywhere. Like Rihanna said, we find love in a hopeless place. Abby. So you can find love even in the mud, even in caves. You can meet people there. So on a very serious note, guys, you know that before you embark on this journey called office romance, because it's a journey, as far as everyone is concerned. It's like when you're traveling on a trip and you want to spend 4 or 5 days on that trip. You know what you're going to take along? You're going to take your toothbrush, you're going to take your towel, you're going to take your bath sponge, you're going to take some clothes that you put. Of course, do you want to start roaming the streets naked? You would not dare that. So before you embark on this office romance journey, I bet there are some things you need to check. You need to put some things into consideration, like marital status of the other person. Bro, it's very important, because we do not want to hear stories like the FCMB one that happened last year, December. Oh, nah. We do not want to hear that. And then there was this story of a couple. I don't know how true that story was, but it was someone who I was on a bus with while going home from work some years ago, actually. So the person was talking about a guy who was married, and he had this colleague who he was hitting on, and then one thing led to another. They started having sex, and there was this time when the office needed to carry out health check on all the members of staff. Man, it turned out that the two of them had HIV. I mean, like I said, I don't know how true that story was, but it hit home. That story hit home. And for each and every one of us who is involved in one relationship or the other, you don't know the health status, the HIV status of the other person. So it's important you check. Okay, so that's how the both of them got infected with HIV, and that's how the story went. Okay, so we do not want to involve ourselves with those kind of things. So we need to be very careful when involving in romance like that. So it's also important you check office policies, because every organization has rules and regulations, whether stated or written, oral, formal. Every organization has rules and regulations guiding it. So it's important you check. Sometimes, if it's in the Western world, I think they go as far as consulting their HR. So it's important you check office policy. If your office is against relationships and marriages in the same organization, then I think you should. There's always a way out. The both of you, the two people involved, can meet each other halfway. As in, one person could probably get another job elsewhere, or if the organization is not against it or not totally against it, and if your organization is a big one, they could transfer one person to another branch. Because I know of a couple who work at the same organization but a different branch, so things could turn out that way. You could ask for transfer to another branch, or you could just completely resign, because the truth is, soldier go, soldier come, love still remains. Love is eternal. So if you lose that job tomorrow, then you lose your love. Waiting you gain. So I think it's better you choose your battle. If it's love you want to choose, or if it's the job you want to choose, just choose wisely though. Another thing you should check on your list of office romance is your reaction when people find out. Can you handle it? How are you going to feel when people bump into the two of you? Because trust me, one person is going to bump into the two of you when you're having that mushy lovey-dovey moment, because there's always this one person that mistakenly sees something when it's happening. So someone must find out. So how are you going to take it? I'm sure that you should be prepared for those things. You should be prepared for those moments. So are you going to quit the relationship because you are afraid of what people would say? Are you going to stand up to it? Are you going to be ashamed? Are you going to be on the defensive? Like, what are you even defending? Is it not your relationship? I don't understand. I think it's even at that point that your love stands the test of time. So it's your game. It's your call. So handle it. So looking at these few things, I think that you should be able to handle office romance or not even attempt it at all. So guys, if you like this video, click on the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new on the channel, and comments. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.